Now, I would expect you to be a little bit skeptical of $60 per hour in the side hustle that we're talking about in today's video. But after using this website for the last month and a half and earning over $150, proof right here in my PayPal account, I want to share my exact experience with user testing and how you can make a nice side income in your spare time. First, a shout out to one of my awesome subscribers who asked this very important question when it comes down to side hustles: what can be done as a truck driver on the road all the time? What could I do to make some side income? Well, in today's video, I'm sharing exactly how UserTesting.com can earn you a nice income, whether you're on the go as a truck driver, you're stuck in an airport, or you're bored at home. Best part is this doesn't require you to go anywhere to work. You don't have to actually commute. You can do it right from your app or right from your computer. So if you're ready to scale up your income starting today, I ask just one thing: don't be dumb. Tap the thumb on this video. It helps me out, and I thank you in advance for doing that. So in this video, I'm going to share number one, exactly how I made $150 using UserTesting.com and how you could earn up to $60 per hour if you hustle the right way. And number two, the most important part, is how you pass the test in order to actually use UserTesting.com. They put you through a little bit of a test. I have 4 tips to help you get through the test so you can ace it and start earning money on user testing today. But first, want another way to earn some extra side income? What if I told you that you could get paid to watch videos on your computer? No, this is not a joke. The website Inbox Dollars pays you to watch short video clips online. And the best part is Inbox Dollars actually pays you in cash, not silly points or gift cards or something like that. And you can actually link it to your PayPal account. Inbox Dollars has already paid out over $56 million to its users. Get started today with a $5 bonus by using the link down in the description of this video. So first up on deck, how did I actually make $150? Here's the proof inside of my PayPal account. And as you can see, they've been paying me in increments of about $10 every time that I complete a user testing. Typically, you get paid 7 days after you take the test. So theoretically, if you do this every day, you could eventually start churning payments every single day into your PayPal account from UserTesting.com. Now, of course, I've been a busy guy. I've been making YouTube videos. I've been doing a lot of different side hustles, so I haven't been able to commit the full hustle that I typically would to something like this, where I could scale up to making $60 an hour or even $100 plus per week. But I'm excited about what I've made so far, and definitely something I'm going to keep in my arsenal for some extra income when I'm bored at home and I want to do a quick user test. Let me show you exactly how this works. The very first thing we're going to do is show you how it works on a computer, and then stay tuned. If you got a phone handy, I'll show you how the app works as well. So let's hop over to the computer and get started. So here we are on the computer version, and you can see right up here at the top, I have 47 available tests to me. And that's what's really cool about this. And check this out. For $10, it's asking a very simple question. It could be used on a Mac or a Windows computer. And then look down here, $60 for 60 minutes. And that's where I really focused on the fact that you can make $60 an hour by simply just doing one per day of UserTesting.com. Now, this is a live conversation where you go through an entire process with somebody doing some type of test. Now, how this typically works, and I'll tell you right now, I do a lot of the $10 increments just because it's super easy to use and it only takes about 10 minutes to complete. So for 10 minutes, I can make a simple 10 bucks. And if I do enough of them in an hour, of course, I could add up to about $60 per hour. What it does is it first screens you. What it wants to understand is, what exactly have you used? Are you familiar with a product that they might want to prototype? You're going to go through a very simple process, and it'll either let you know if you qualify, which is an exciting thing, or if you don't qualify. Now, in full transparency, there's going to be a lot of these tests that you may not qualify for, but that's okay. Keep moving on to the next one. As you can see, we have 47 available tests to us. For example, have you ever shopped at Albertsons.com? No, I haven't. So I'm going to hit 0, and I probably won't be qualified. And nope. It says this one didn't work out, give it more time, which means move on to the next one. Now, if you come up here to the right-hand side, you're gonna see as I click on my account, I currently have $20 of payment pending. That means that in the next 7 days, I'm gonna get an extra $20 on top of the $150 that I already earned. You can also see my current rating. Now, this is very important. When you get on to user testing, you want to make sure you're giving them value. That's why they're paying you so much to do these very simple tests. So focus on giving them great quality value. You can get a great rating, which means more tests will open up to you and greater payments will open up to you as well. You'll get more of these $60 opportunities for 60 minutes, and sometimes we'll even get $90 opportunities. If I come over here to completed test on the browser, you can see what I've completed so far. This is what will add up ultimately to my $150. but you can see I did it a lot in late April as well as in May. So if you look through all of May, I did a lot of the $10 increments. Now, as you can see, a lot of these aren't rated. That's up to the company that decides if they want to rate you or not. But for those that do, they'll obviously give you 1 through 5 stars. You obviously want to get 5 stars. And sometimes they'll even include some information. Look at this, very thorough, followed all directions and answered questions insightfully. Much appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate the positive comment. So that's important. You want to continue to scale up doing a great job so you can continue to get massive amount of tests so you can scale up the ability to make a ton of money. So for example, you could select a $10 qualification and it only takes you less than 10 minutes. That's the best part. Here are some recent sessions I did. You see this one here took about 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Obviously that made me $10 in less than 10 minutes. Look at this one here, 8 minutes and 28 seconds. I think that's actually my longest that I've done, but 8 minutes, not bad at all. And then check this one out at 3 minutes and 5 seconds. It only took me 3 minutes to get through some questions and some user testing on this particular one, and I made $10. Now, in the case of my truck drivers out there, or anybody that might be on the go and you're not near a computer, check this out. You got the app as well. So you can sign up for user testing, and here are some tests specifically for the device that you're using. You could use an iPad, you could use your iPhone, you could use an Android smartphone. They give you opportunities, and when you set up your profile on user testing, when you first get signed up, they ask you a bunch of questions. What type of technology do you have? So that way they can cater tests based on the devices that you own. They're not only going to do that, they're going to also ask you what's your state of income, what kind of job do you have, what type of kids do you have, what's your family life like. And the reason they're asking all those type of questions is because they want to cater certain tests based on your demographic. Based on what a company might be looking for, they might be looking for somebody that has 2 kids, their daughters, and they're about 10 years old or less. Those are the type of qualifications that companies sometimes ask for, and user testing wants to make sure you qualify for the right type of test. But right here on the app, you can see we got a website test. I can scroll down here and check this out. Sometimes there's even app test, which means that you could be looking at a prototype for a future app. It could be a gaming app, a financial app, it could be anything. As you get an opportunity to go behind the scenes, give them feedback in real time, and not only that, you get to actually experience something before anybody else does. And while I wish I could share with you some of my previous tests, of course, for confidentiality, you are held to not sharing the type of things because you do see some prototype content before it even gets released to the masses. But same deal here. I can click Take Screener on App Test. It's going to say, do any of the brand names and people that you recognize? Okay, what do I recognize here? I don't know about you guys, but I don't recognize any of this. I'm going to hit none of the above, and that might actually disqualify me, as it does. Unfortunately, you do not qualify for this study. So obviously they were looking for somebody that was familiar with one or all of those type of indications. So if that was you, maybe you would have qualified for that test and had the opportunity to do some testing to earn $10. Now, before you start making money on user testing, they of course want you to go through a test to make sure you're legit and not just some clown off of the street. So here are my 4 tips on how you can pass the test. Tip number 1 is always think out loud. When it comes down to the user testing experience, whether you're on the website or the app, especially during the test, you want to talk through your mindset. What they're looking for is what users are going through when it comes down to what they're presenting you. Let's say it's just a website. They want to understand what you're thinking as you're clicking and doing the various tasks. So as I go through, I'm constantly, okay, this is what I see, and this is what I'm clicking on, and oh, that seems easy, or hey, that seemed a little bit tricky, and here's why I think it was tricky. Tip number 2 is read off the task. I think that's really important. They're recording your voice, and sometimes they record your video. So they want to see your screen, they want to see you, and they want to see your voice. Now, typically for the $10 ones, they don't typically make me share my video, but it is sharing my screen and sharing my voice. I also want to say, here's what you're asking me to do. You want me to do A, B, and C, and that's what I'm about to do. So here we go. Simple and easy as that. That's tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is to give insight before you do the task. So for example, let's say they tell you to go to a certain category on a website and pick out your favorite clothing. Well, if I go to the website, I'm going to say, I expect that I'm going to click the very top of this website where it says clothing, and I'm going to scroll down to men's clothing, because that's what I would be looking for. And then I actually do the task. That way the company can understand what I'm interpreting their task to be, as well as what I'm interpreting the website to do once I actually start clicking through it. Then, if it doesn't respond to that, I can talk through exactly what I'm doing and what I'm concerned about. The same thing goes for the test. User testing wants to make sure that you're giving accurate data, that you're speaking clearly, and that you're speaking your mind. And number 4 tip is always provide a nice wrap-up conclusion. Highlight some of your main key points that you discussed through the last 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes, however long the user test was. And then always thank them for giving you the opportunity. I always end my statements with, thank you for giving this opportunity to me, and I hope this was valuable for you. Have a great day. Something very simple like that. But of course, you speaking fluidly and professionally through your user testing experience will, of course, I think, score you some bonus points. So if you found this side hustle to be helpful, tap the like button on this video and make sure you subscribe for more personal finance content coming right here to the channel. Oh, by the way, here are some other side hustles that you might find interesting, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you're gonna like. And until next time, continue to live your sweet life.